Alright farmers, welcome back to the channel. So the Precision Farming DLC has finally arrived. So what I thought I'd do is break it down into a couple of different videos. So obviously there's a lot of specific information that's going to be going on. So obviously rather than having to sit through everything just to get the one little piece that you're after, but you know, we could do it separately. So what we're going to do in this one is go over all the equipment that comes with this pack. So first off, we've got these two buildings in front of us. These are the RTK stations. You're going to want to place one of these down for getting your AI helpers better acquainted with the field, should we say. Obviously, with all this, they're going to use all the equipment better, and they're going to be able to get more out of it with more precision. Obviously, the name Precision Farming gives it away. So you're going to find these in the construction menu. So go into there, and they are on the sheds. So the first one is the RTK base station, 17.5 grand to buy. It's a little brick building there. And then we've got the shed with RTK base station, 39.5 grand to buy. And obviously that's got the RTK antenna on the side and then a bit of storage for you as well. Come in there. That's interesting because it's open front. You can close the gate, but there's no gate there. Walk up to it and it just stops you. That's rather random. And then when you turn the gate on, you get the lights pop up. That is really strange. So look at the lights there. So you get the option close gate. Go up to it again. It stops us and the lights have disappeared. Open the gate and the lights appear again. And you get the option to turn the lights on. That is very random. Okay, we'll carry on. Now, according to the website, the John Deere Gator is part of this pack as well, which is a bit strange. Now, along with the shed that you have to open an invisible gate, that's just really random. Alright, we'll carry on. Right, so the first piece of new equipment we've got is the Garant PTR 30,000. Obviously, this is going to be under your slurry tankers, slurry spreaders, whatever you want to call it. So this has got a 30,000 litre capacity. It's going to require 350 horsepower from your tractor, 9 mile an hour working speed. It's going to cost you 239 grand to buy as standard. Now, it has got that pipe on the front there, which you can open up if you want to simulate taking it out of your slurry tank. So that's all right. So the options you got there are wheel brands and tyres, usual shenanigans on the go. But this is a new thing as well. John Deere manure sensing. Yes or no? So it says there, the John Deere manure sensing will detect the nitrogen in your manure. As the nitrogen in the manure is never homogeneous, this sensor guarantees the application of the same nitrogen amount all over the field. So what that basically means is when you take the slurry out of your pigs or out of your cows, that it's not all the same. It is going to vary differently. Obviously, depending on, you know, what you're feeding them, that could change. And if you got any extra water, you know, coming off the rain or whatever, it can make it all different. So this is what the sensor does, is basically it looks at the nitrogen levels in the slurry coming out of the tank at any given point, and then it applies it varyingly, which is brilliant. Now, the best thing about this as well, obviously this PTR 30,000 is a new tanker to the game, but if you go into any other tankers, it's got that option there. I mean, that's the saddle tracks, part of the saddle track pack. It's got it there as well. I mean, it adds like nearly 11 grand, mind you, but that's ace. I mean, we'll go to this one here, the Samsung. There it is. So add it to all of them. Puts that little yellow box on the top there. That is brilliant. Obviously, there is one right at the beginning, the very small one. That didn't have one on. You haven't got the option on that. Well, I suppose probably too small. But then, no, that hasn't got them on either. So, what's the first one? Has it got on them? No, not on that one. Not on that one. Oh, that one's got it. So the first one is the Shoten VT130. That's got the option. 10 grand. Well, 11 grand. So it's 11 grand for that one there. Although I suppose it's only a sensor section, isn't it, really? So it doesn't matter how big the tank is. But obviously, going back to the Garrett tank at the end, you are going to need to put something on the back because it hasn't got a working width there. You've got the 3-point link there, so you are going to need to put some attachment on the back to actually spread it down with. But that is really good. I do like that manure sensor. Brilliant. Right, next up we got the ASarius Scout. Now if you played on FS19 with precision farming, you'll be all too familiar with this. Obviously this hooks up to the back of anything with a 3-point link on it, and it takes soil samples for you. Now, you're going to need to do this to get your nitrogen and everything else done nicely in your field, because obviously without doing the soil samples you don't know what you need to put down. So this is a great little bit of kit. Obviously hook it up, unfold it, and then just go over to the area you want the sample, and jobs are good in. 17 grand to buy. It's not that expensive. I mean, you can even lease it. It's 867 to lease. Very nice. Right, next up we got a new piece of equipment, the Astra Proactive. Obviously this is going to be for sensing the nitrogen levels in the crops. So you're going to hook this up to the front of your tractor, and these two arms fold out, and it basically takes a look at the greenage on your crops and then applies nitrogen accordingly. Obviously this isn't going to apply nitrogen itself. It's going to hook up to your tractor, it's going to hook up to whatever you've got in the back, and then it will adjust it as it goes. But you're going to need this on the front to get a great look at it. That is genius, absolutely genius. I mean, you have got the options with this as well. You can add weights to it, so it comes as standard, just the apparatus. You can then add a 600 kilo weight, 750, 1000, 1500, 2500, and then back to standard. I think that is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Just having a little spy on your plants, which is ace. Now the best thing about this particular one is you can use it day and night. So if you're into your night farming, this will work as well. Brilliant. Right, the next new thing we've got for the precision farming pack is not this Fendt Black Beauty tractor, because obviously that's been out for a while, but it's what it adds onto every tractor in the game. If you look at that option there, the Astra Pro Compact, currently we've got it as no. If we then click on it and it goes to yes, puts those little white pods on the rear view mirrors, the door mirrors, whatever you want to call them. And it says there, the Astra Pro Compact detects the real nitrogen demand of your crops. While driving with this sensor over your field, you'll get more precise information of the nitrogen that is required. With this information, the fertilization will be more accurate and results in a higher yield. This is where it differs from the previous one we just seen. Compared to the Astra Proactive, this sensor can only be used during the daytime. So if you are of the nighttime farmer equation, you're not really going to want to use this. You'll want to get the previous one. And that being said, it's nearly 15 grand, and it's directly linked to the tractor. So you can't swap it about your tractors like the previous one. You have to buy it each time, which then does make it a bit more expensive. But still, I mean, me personally, I don't particularly like night farm tracting because, you know, it's too dark. So I wouldn't have a problem with this one at all. Just bear that in mind. Right, now last piece of equipment for the precision farming pack is this, the John Deere R732i power spray. You're going to find this under your sprayer section. This has got a 3,360 litre tank, 28 metre working width, 7 mile an hour working speed, 52.5 grand to buy. Obviously you've got the usual shenanigans on the go with the wheel bands and the tyres, but the thing is this, see and spray. This is ace. Right, click on that there, see and spray, weed spot spraying. With this configuration, each nozzle of the sprayer will only turn on while there are actual weeds below the nozzle. With that, you may use 90% less herbicide, reducing costs and protecting the environment. That is ace. It says you may use 90% less, obviously it depends on how many weeds you've got, but that is brilliant. Rather than just dousing your whole field with herbicide, you just put it where you need to. That is brilliant, absolutely genius idea. Now, one thing I will mention with this is the only one currently in the game. Obviously we probably will have mods that come out and use the system, but this is the only one currently in the game with this see and spray spot weeding spraying shenanigans on the go. So you are kind of limited to what you can use. I mean, I know this whole precision farming thing has been on the go in collaboration with John Deere, so obviously they are going to have it something just for them. Sort of being railroaded into using John Deere with that one, but that being said, the idea behind it, the whole premise behind it all, that is ace. Yeah, the whole idea behind the precision farming DLC in itself is sustainable farming. You know, you have an environmental scores for your fields and everything, so you know, cutting down on how much herbicide you use is going to be one of those things. So that is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Right, so that's all your equipment in the Precision Farming DLC. Drop it in the comments below. Which is your favourite part? For me, I like the one that goes on the front, that sees your crops. I think that's brilliant. We'll see what people are thinking. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. It's muchly appreciated. But for me, that's it for today, and I'll see you in the next one.